Hi there, my name is Grace Kagema, the author of Maua, and this is the Author's Digest. That's a very interesting question, and I get asked most of the time, but I would say that I'm someone who loves connecting with people, giving myself to people around me, giving myself to women, to girls that I mentor, to my community around myself. So I'm a giver, and I love being in spaces that I touch lives and I transform lives. So I would say, if I'm to choose one word, I'm passionate about what I do. I love giving. I love connecting with people. I love books. I love life generally, and making an impact is something that is very key and very close to my heart. I could talk so much, but I guess that basically gives you a picture of who I am. Growing up was fun. We played out. We climbed trees. We made balls out of socks. We chased after butterflies. I basically grew up in a household of three siblings. I'm the firstborn. There's my sister, my brother. It was just exciting. It was a normal middle class childhood. We played outside, we had fun, we had friends, the neighborhood was open, it was not gated as people have right now, we would play with anyone, dance with anyone, dance in the rain. So my childhood was good, I would say, and strict in a way. The first early years I was raised by my grandmother. She's actually the one who took me to nursery. She was a very strict mama. Oh, God bless her soul. She was amazing. She's actually the one who instilled early years of discipline in my siblings and myself. That woman was just not shy from taking a stick and beating you when you have done something wrong. She basically strongly believed in, if you don't use the road, you're going to spoil the child. So I was disciplined from an early age, and for sure as I grew up, I would like to say I never forgot those early discipline teachings that I got from my grandma. So basically it was a normal childhood with growing up with three siblings in a middle class neighborhood in Mombasa, playing outside, getting disciplined when you do something wrong, and going to government schools, public schools, both primary and high school. It was a good childhood. When you ask me that question, when I look back, so many memories come, and I'm imagining my daughter right now would not understand when I tell her we used to play outside, chase after butterflies and climb trees. She's like, "Mom, that's not fiction." My grandmother, Esther, she died when I was in Form 4. In so many ways, yes, she shaped into the woman who I am today. All right, she's one of the women, my mother as well, who contributed to Grace as she is today. My grandma believed so much in education. She would tell me, "Grace, make sure you study hard, work hard, go to school, get a good education, get a good job." Then again, back in the day, most of us were being told that by our parents, But that aside, she loved education, she loved discipline, and she loved Jesus. So religion, or rather biblical teachings, were very key to her. And she instilled this constantly in me. And as I'm growing up, spirituality has become a very big part of my life, because grandma ensured that you know Jesus, you love God, you do what is right when it's right. And her having put that in me since I was a young child, and me growing up in it, and now being able to put that same teachings in my daughter, I would say she has highly contributed in a bigger part of of who I am today. And it's really pains me to see that she's not here to read Maua. You know, she'd have been very proud. Yeah, she'd have really been proud to have seen this book out. Her granddaughter has written it because she loved reading. At 80, she'd sit down with a book. You just find her reading books, newspapers, and it was like, shush, you know, get in touch. She's like, for as long as I can sit, I will read. And today, Maua being here and Grandma is not here to read it, it's bittersweet. When I was growing up back in primary, I used to love writing. How did I know that? My Insha teachers and my composition teachers, they would bring our Inshas and compositions back to class and they would withhold my script. Later I would find out mine were better written, you know, than the rest of the students in my class. So they would have me stand in front of the class and read out my Inshas and compositions to everyone, and then they would ask the class to pick out styles, you know, discuss how my writing is and emulate a couple of things from my Inshas and compositions. So from a very early age, if I could go back as early as class 4, 5, I knew I was gifted in writing. But then again, you grow up, you know, remember as we were growing up, we were being told, work hard, go to school, get a good education, and get a good job. And so somewhere along the way, I put writing on the side. Why? Because I had to work hard, get a good education, and get a good job. And I got that. But later on, you see, when you're gifted and God has put something in you, it catches up with you later in life. And my writing caught up with me. So I felt this increasing sense of unsettlement, like I'm not living my purpose. There's something I should be doing. I have stories to tell. I am gifted. I know how to bring words together, breathe life into them, and entertain and have people get lessons, have people open conversations in homes. And I decided, Grace, you have to go back to that gift. And so that is how Maua was born. So I sat down. I wrote this book within a week. You know, every night after work, I just sit down and just write, just be on my laptop composing. I became like possessed. You know, stories, words are flowing. I'll just write and bring in characters, describe the settings, describe the events, bring it to life. And within a week, I already had a draft. So Maua was inspired from our daily activities, daily lives. You wake up in the morning, you're a mom, I go to work, come back, my daughter is there, you know, I meet my friends for coffee. It's a day-to-day story of what is happening around us. And I needed to put all that in a book, okay, so that when we are out there with our friends having coffee, when we are out there at the dispenser getting water after from your desk at your office, we can have a conversation. All right, because this book, I wrote it mainly with an aim to evoke conversations within our setup, so that when you're at hanging out with your boys, you can talk about emerging issues in this book. You know, you can talk about Karani and his journey. You can talk about marriage. You can talk about divorce. You can talk about love. You can talk about what do women want and how is that even highlighted in Maua. Men usually say we don't understand women. Read Maua and then let's talk about what Maua says about women and what they want. And us ladies on the other hand are like, what do the men want? You know, he doesn't understand me. Ladies, read Maua, then let's talk about what Maua says about men want. The idea is basically to have these conversations within our social settings, within our school settings, within our environments. And actually that is the main reason, the biggest reason ever of how of why I wanted to write Maua, to open up conversations, societal issues that we are facing, you know, love, spirituality, religion, you know, kids, work, our day-to-day lives, and issues that are affecting us. How can we talk about this? When can we talk about this? And let's talk about this. It's on the shelves, yes, but it's actually my second book. My first book, my very first book, it's an entrepreneurship guide on how you can be able to improve yourself as a young person in business. as a youth who is trying to start out in business, and it's currently on Amazon. That was the first book. It's a lighter book than Maua, and after that, that's when I wrote Maua. It's my second, so to say, and I'm hoping I will not stop here. I'm hoping there'll be a sequel, because I'm being asked when is the next one coming. You know, when you read this, you're like, no, we need a second one. So yes, we'll see. That's a very powerful question. All right, for me as an author, I want to tell stories, everyday stories. Like I had earlier said, Maua, it's about opening up conversations within our social settings. So as an author, my role is to tell stories, everyday stories, you know, stories about work, experiences about love, experiences about parenthood, experiences about relationships, things that we can identify with every single day. So my role is to pick these experiences, bring them in a 1,000 worded document, you know, in a 500 worded page, in a 20 worded character, and inspire people, you know, to talk about the issues that have been highlighted. Like, let me give you an example. I have a writer's Facebook page, Kags the Writer on Facebook. So in my writer's page, I write everyday stories, you know, stories that touch on these different aspects of our lives. Some of these stories are real. I've had the subjects narrate them to me, and when they do, with their permission, I put them out there in a way that it's attractive to read, it's exciting to read, and there are lessons in it to learn from, and in a way that we are able to open up conversations again amongst ourselves, and also to provoke what we can do about these issues that have been highlighted from that particular stories. So personally, from where I'm sitting as a writer, is to tell stories. Number one, that's my role, with the hope that these stories are going to open up conversations within our settings. You know, when you're out there having tea with the girls, having drinks with the boys, you're seated there having playtime with your kids, you know, conversations will come up about these societal issues, not just that. And number three is, what can we do about these issues that have been highlighted, you know, these issues that have been brought forward? What can we do about them? You know, if there are solutions that are needed to be presented, what solutions are we going to bring that up? So I hope as a writer I'm able to do that, not just tell stories, but also invoke conversation and essentially come up with solutions to the emerging issues. You're looking to get published. Wow. Number one, start writing wherever you are. Write on your phone, write on your laptop, write on a piece of paper, write on your social media pages. Just write, all right? Because it's in the writing that you do that the urge to get published now builds up naturally. And the next thing that you want people to read what you have written. You might sit there where you are seated right now and you're thinking, I'd love to write a book, I'd love to get published. But before you actually even have something physical like this, what are you doing about your gift of writing? Yeah? Are you writing something? Are you stringing words together from wherever you are with whatever resources that are available to you? Yes? Because as you do those small writings, they will grow up incrementally, and the urge to actually have it in a book will essentially come out. And it is at that point when you have now to sit down and decide, now I believe I'm in a better space for people to read my work, I want to put it out there. At that particular point, go for it. Do not second guess yourself. Research well, all right? You can get a publisher, you can self-publish, that's all right. The idea is not to second guess yourself. Don't say, oh my God, okay, who's going to read my book? Of course, as you're writing, you have a particular audience in your mind, but don't second guess and start asking who's going to buy, who's going to read my work. Put yourself out there, write, get published, get a publisher or self-publish, whichever way. Put your work out there, let people read it, let people discuss it, let people give you opinions, let people give you feedback, let people critique it, and then improve on your next one, and you keep going. It's a journey, but you have to start somewhere. Start writing with whatever platforms is available to you right this minute, whether it's a notebook, a rough book, social media, whatever. Start and build up from there.